How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether price is going up or down. So over on Dixie for the daily, we did get a little bit of a push forward, not very much. I would watch though, as this could continue to push us up. We did kind of try to pull back. We'll get on that on the daily. On the hourly. This did end up making crypto pull back. We also have some worry with the crypto industry as Tether is under scrutiny for possible fraud, and if Tether goes down, we could see another collapse similar to Terra. So if you're in some profits and you're worried about that, you may want to consider taking them. Stochastic does want to pull back. RSI is starting to weaken. Money flow is in the green. VWAP does want to pull back. So I would exercise caution. If that VWAP continues to fall, we could reject despite this pump forward. So over on the hourly, I don't know why the 30-minute, think it's because of that one coin yesterday. Over on the hourly, we broke out, we went flat, we did not get our break up, we kind of pulled away, but we were unable to maintain a lower low, and we did end up bouncing forward. That bounce forward would have been where you would want to watch. If we pull this pattern all the way out, we did get close to the top with that bounce forward. Our stochastic does want to pull back. RSI is starting to pull back, momentum is rounding, VWAP is pulling back, and that money flow is green. But if that VWAP breaks down, we could see momentum round away, that blue wave and money flow could go from green to red, and then we could see this reversal arrow bring us lower. So I would watch the next candle. If it's a strong red candle, we could see a bit of sell-off here. Over on Bitcoin dominance for the daily, we are trying to get that invalidation break up, so we will look on the hourly if we got a bounce in a continuation or not. Stochastic does want to push forward, VWAP is bullish, money flow is pushing up, so the daily does look positive here. Over on the 1 hour, we are just tearing through, so I would watch. We did try to break through here. We got rejected. We did bounce forward, so that may be a retest, but ideally we would pull back and bounce off the top of the channel. Stochastic does want to push up. RSI is gaining strength. VWAP is pushing up. Money flows in the green. So we could see Bitcoin lose less than our altcoins as dominance pushes up and the market pulls back. But if the market continues to bounce and dominance goes up, then that would mean Bitcoin would outperform the markets in positive gains. So over on the 1 day here on total, we are seeing a pretty brutal breakdown with this news that we had. So this could give us that double top possibility. Still, that's why we did not delete this yet. So I would watch that 602 support. We did try to go toward the top of our golden pocket and we got rejected. So that was a critical level. We did say to watch for confirmation of a bounce for our altcoins to continue further. Momentum does want to pull back. VWAP is favoring bearish with lower lows and lower highs, and money flow is starting to weaken. So if that VWAP continues to pull back, momentum will break down. Money flow could go from green to red, and we would see further selling pressure, possibly pushing toward our 300 EMA and our neckline right around that 575 area. So over on the 1 hour, we do have a somewhat long lower shadow, not really. So kind of hard to capture price action the way it moves, so we will only be able to get so much. We do have a head and shoulders here that did break us down, so I would have wanted to watch for that. That head and shoulders did break that EMA level, which did continue us lower after failing to break above our previous consolidation range. So that would have been your kind of cue that things may start to reverse right in this area. RSI is pulling back. Stochastic is dropping down. VWAP is starting to favor bearish, so watch if that VWAP yellow wave continues to favor bearish. Momentum, the blue wave, will remain in the bearish territory, pulling money flow deeper into the red and showing we have further selling pressure. This was a mini bear flag that did break down, so I would watch for this kind of trend to continue. If we get more consolidation after this push down, we could see another step to the downside here, again pushing lower. Watch that neckline very close if we do break this area. So over on futures, and watch your altcoins, because remember, total is the market cap of all the altcoins besides Ethereum. So over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, we did reject our 69K again, so I would exercise caution. If this is followed by a red candle, we could get some local lower highs with lower lows that could try to push us away from this resistance area that we needed to break forward from in order to invalidate a rising channel possibility. Stochastic does want to pull back. RSI is starting to weaken. VWAP is favoring bearish and money flows in the green, but if that VWAP continues to reject, momentum and money flow will continue to fall. Over on the 1 hour, we did bounce off that 300 EMA, so that is a very good bounce, but this could be like a slanted head and shoulders here as well, where this is a shoulder, a head, a shoulder, and then we would have that rejection here, and we are retesting with a consolidation range that could create a bear flag for a further drop down. If we do see a further drop down and we break that 65.5, I would watch for lower lows. Remember, we have that 57K that we do have that futures gap on, and we also have around 54K. We also have this local one right here at 66.8. So ideally, we would make a candle fill and bounce off that if we're going to continue forward without filling those lower gaps. Remember, they are 80% likely, so there is a chance we don't fill them. RSI is pulling back, stochastic does want to remain bearish. VWAP is favoring bearish as well, and momentum is breaking down. If that VWAP does not break through that neutral and hold soon, money flow will start to break, and that will weaken higher time frames. And as futures does lead Bitcoin, we're likely going to see Bitcoin break away here as well. This could be that same rising channel trying to form. Stochastic doesn't want to pull back. RSI is pushing down. Momentum is breaking. Money flow is pulling back. And that VWAP is favoring bearish, rejecting that neutral. So I would watch the hourly here. Over on the 1 hour, we did break and reject that 300 EMA. So we are on the lower side of our EMA band. If we continue to push on the lower side, we could see our lower EMAs fall below our higher EMAs, and that would give bears control to give us a strong push to the downside. So I would exercise caution. RSI is pulling back, stochastic wants to round. VWAP does have lower highs, and it wants to reject neutral. Momentum is breaking down, and money flow is weakening. So I would watch this tether news very close, because that's going to have a big effect on the market right now. I'd say probably bigger than the elections. Over on graph for the daily, we do have that double top. We're approaching our neckline, so I would watch for a continuation of a break here. If we get that continuation and rejection, then it's likely we will push beyond that 14,316, around that 13,597. RSI and stochastic are dropping. VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum is dropping, and money flow is favoring bearish as well. Remember, if you have any kind of coins you want to look at, drop them in the comments, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and join our Discord if you have not already. Over on the 1 hour, we do have lower highs with lower lows. They did try to create a bit of a descending channel, but we spilled out. That's why it's important to watch that third touch, because here would have been our third touch, and then we just spilled away. RSI is dropping, stochastic is rejecting. VWAP is in a bearish trend with lower highs and favorable lows. Momentum is pushing down, and money flow is favoring bearish as well. So if that VWAP stays bearish, it's likely higher time frames will continue to weaken. Over on Ankr for the daily, we are seeing a pretty brutal rejection of our point control and almost push way down to our value area low. So this is a very quick drop. We could see a retracement pump forward, but I would keep an eye on things. Remember, with the news, that does play a bigger effect. We won't see typical market moves typically with the kind of news we have. Stochastic is pulling back, RSI is dropping away, momentum is breaking down, VWAP is favoring bearish, and money flow does want to break that neutral, so watch that VWAP. If it continues to push on the lower time frames, we could break that value area low, and if we see red candles below our value area low, that's where we would continue down toward that 2020 and possibly lower. So over on the 1 hour, we did reject that 300 EMA, and that was a long upper shadow candle followed with a red candle, so that would have been the confirmation of a rejection, and then we just spilled over after that. RSI is pulling back, stochastic is dropping away, VWAP is favoring bearish with lower highs and favorable lows, momentum is pushing down with the red dot, and money flow is in the red. So I would watch, we could see further bearish momentum if that VWAP continues to favor in the bearish territory. Over on XRP for the daily, we did get the rejection we've been warning about for quite some time. We did hang up on that 50 area and we broke it. So I would watch as we are trying to spill away toward our 45 area. Stochastic is breaking down, RSI is pushing down, VWAP is losing strength, momentum is falling, and money flow does want to reject this neutral. So I would exercise caution. There was some positivity in the XRP news lately, but that is being outweighed by this tether news. So over on the 1 hour, we had lower highs and lower lows. They did not connect, and that created a bearish continuation that rejected our flag and pushed us lower. RSI is dropping away, stochastic is rounding, VWAP has lower highs, and we are breaking for consistent lows, pushing momentum in the red with a red dot, so that could bring money flow lower. If that VWAP does not reverse soon, we will see continued selling pressure, and higher timeframes will weaken. So, last but not least, we have ALGO. If there's no other requests here, we can do DAG if anyone wants. That was usually on the list, so don't know how much there's trading on that. We did have one community member request it, Stochastic is pulling back, RSI is dropping away, momentum is breaking down, VWAP is favoring bearish, and money flow is in the red. So I would watch. If that VWAP continues to pull back, momentum will continue lower and money flow will continue to reject, and then we could continue to spill over, seeing that push to the 1032 and possibly lower if we're not careful, much like this pattern suggested. So over on the 1 hour, we do have lower highs and lower lows right here. They did not end up connecting, and they did end up spilling us down very quickly. We did try to retest in our pattern, and that would have been the kind of key to take a short as we got rejection, and then we are spilling over. If you did take that hint, maybe this is a good candle to take profits on because it did move very quick. Our RSI is dropping, stochastic wants around, VWAP is rejecting with lower highs and consistent lows, pushing momentum lower and causing money flow to reject, so I would exercise caution. This could cause further sell-off and weaken those higher time frames. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. Have a great night.